Good evening, Campbells, and welcome back. I'm Joshua Davis.
And I'm Abby DeBoer. This is Campbell Now. Campbell's COVID numbers continue to increase substantially this past week. According to Campbell's figures, we currently have 35 cases involving on-campus students, 45 off-campus students, and 2 faculty or staff. The new total of 76 is the highest Campbell has experienced since we returned to campus last August. The continued rise of cases is cause for great concern. Just last week, the university announced a temporary pause on activities outside the classroom. It is important to remain diligent in following all health and safety protocols. To view Campbell's protocols, you can visit Campbell's Health website.
To keep students from traveling and bringing back the virus, Campbell decided last year to do away with traditional breaks this semester. In lieu of that time away, some universities have switched to mental health days instead. Reporter Jeanette Haynes has the story.
The pandemic's impact on Campbell has not gone unnoticed by students. Our typically busy campus is a bit more quiet with many in-person classes going online. Along with the strict COVID-19 guidelines Campbell has implemented to keep everyone safe, major breaks like spring break have been taken away. Many students are beginning to feel the effects of nonstop work. Current Campbell student Christina DeHaney talks about how this school year has been different from her previous years here and how the absence of major breaks has affected her.
This semester has definitely been the most draining so far. And you could feel it everywhere. It's like the students and the professors, everyone's just tired.
NC State has implemented wellness days, 4 days scattered throughout the semester when it's recommended for professors to not give out any work. Current NC State student Celindia Locklear talks about how these wellness days have affected her this semester.
It haven't really affected much. I know that it has modified our syllabus a little bit because teachers weren't really expecting that when they made the classes.
While mental health days might seem like a good idea right now, it is also important to remember that they are only meant to be temporary replacements to normal breaks. Reporting live from Booties Creek, this is Jeanette Haynes from Campbell Now TV.
Thanks, Jeanette. If you identify with that feeling of being drained, stressed, and tired, you're not alone. Lucky for Campbell students, there are people who want to help. They may just be what you need to move forward, and their services don't cost a penny. Bailey Robertson has our story.
College students experience many hardships, and living in a pandemic certainly has not helped. Dealing with the stress of college on top of life's troubles can be difficult. One student says taking care of yourself is necessary.
Taking care of your mental health is important because it affects every aspect of your life.
Campbell students are offered many resources to help improve their mental well-being. Interim Director of Counseling Services, Amy Johnson, explained to me how they can help.
And so therapy helps you to be able to get all of that off your chest, to be able to process the information, and then be able to decide what is the best route to take for your life.
Counseling Services offers one-on-one sessions and groups for sexual assault survivors, those struggling with grief, and more. If you are interested, you can go to the Counseling Services office or call. Students can also participate in outreach programs through Counseling Services. For more about their groups and upcoming programs like the Clothesline Project, follow at Campbell Counseling on Instagram. I'm Bailey Robertson for Campbell Now.
Thanks, Bailey. The Counseling Services office is located across from Lubywood Hall beside Memorial Baptist Church. You don't have to pay when you ask for help. These resources are already covered in your student bill.
We do have some good news. Beginning April 7th, all adults in North Carolina will be eligible to receive their COVID vaccine. The announcement came this past Thursday from Governor Roy Cooper. According to Cooper, nearly 1/3 of adult North Carolinians are at least partially vaccinated. Several counties in North Carolina are already open to all eligible adults, including Craven, Davidson, Greene, Rockingham, and Stokes counties. However, the vaccines have an age requirement. People ages 16 or 17 will be eligible for Pfizer. Everyone else is eligible for the Moderna vaccine and Johnson & Johnson vaccine. In North Carolina, the vaccine will be available through pharmacies, county health departments, and hospitals.
According to state health officials, a little over 900,000 people in North Carolina tested positive for COVID since the pandemic reached our state. The total number of new cases was slightly higher this past Friday. This past Wednesday, 4.3% of coronavirus tests were reported positive. Health officials have said 5% or lower is the target rate to control the spread of the virus. A little more than 1.6 million people in NC have been fully vaccinated as of this past Friday.
This Wednesday, March 31st, Campbell will host the 11th Annual Wiggins Memorial Library Symposium. This tradition gathers the Campbell community and celebrates students' research and creative work. The symposium will be offered in an all-virtual format again in 2021. Last year's virtual event was a major success. The format will allow students to showcase their talents with friends and family, graduate programs, and potential employers. The event will feature a few keynote speakers and an awards ceremony. To join virtually or for more info, visit Campbell Library's website.
Former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin's murder trial will begin this Monday morning. As Minneapolis prepares for the trial, fencing and concrete barriers have been placed around the county government center. The actual site where George Floyd was killed continues to remain closed. Locals have prepared vigils and rallies to honor Floyd's passing, as well as bring attention to the cause. A judge has denied several defense motions to move the trial outside Minneapolis or to delay the proceedings until publicity about the case eases.
Egyptian officials successfully refloated the colossal container ship stuck in the Suez Canal. As the ship was going through to deliver goods, it turned sideways and got wedged on both sides of the canal. This Suez Canal is home to one of the world's busiest and most important waterways. The Suez Canal handles around 12% of global trade. According to officials, an estimated $9 billion worth of goods was affected each day it was blocked. There have been 327 ships on backlog, waiting for the blockage to finally clear. 20,000 tons of sand and mud have been removed to help loosen the ship. We'll go to sports in a minute, but first, have you ever walked past Jones' dorm and seen those 2 yellow pineapples? Hundreds of students walk past the decorations every day, and they may have no idea why they're there. The pineapples and surrounding garden were given to the campus by the Buies Creek Garden Club years ago. Plaques immortalize women who served in the club. But it begs the question, why pineapples? Campbell student Hannah Overton recalls their distinctiveness.
It probably stands out a lot. I mean, you kind of don't miss just random pineapples walk into class.
Some believe the pineapples replace a gate that once separated the girls' dorms from the boys' dorms. Others suggest it symbolizes hospitality. Both explanations point to an inviting and inclusive nature. Associate Campus Minister and alumnus Colin Kroll adds to its symbolism, saying they allude to something bigger.
It's our job and our responsibility as members of this community to make sure it's a welcoming space for all people without discrimination.
While their true meaning remains a mystery, one thing is for sure. They are not going anywhere anytime soon. I'm Abby DeBoer for Campbell Now, Buies Creek.
Thanks, Abby. This is the Campbell Now Sports segment. I'm Madison Thompson, and with me is Drew Ellis. Some Campbell teams have been postponed or canceled due to COVID. Both women's and men's soccer are still playing and winning. Women's soccer had a 5-0 shutout against Gardner-Webb, while men's soccer won 3-2 hosting Elon. Lacrosse had a last-second win against Coastal Carolina with a goal from Megan Matthews at the final horn. Finally, the men's golf team finished third among 36 holes in Chapel Hill this past weekend. In other sports news, a lot of crazy games happened in March Madness this past week. Who was your most exciting team to watch last week, Drew?
My most exciting team to watch was the women's team from the Indiana Hoosiers. They put on a great performance this weekend as they held off the NC Wolfpack, and they scored 2 late free throws and 1 extra free throw added by their center to get a win by 73-70. But Madison, how about you? Who was your special performance that you liked?
My most exciting team of the week was Gonzaga. They rolled through Creighton, winning 83-65, and they had all but one starter score in double figures. They've been dominant this entire season, and they are continuing to be dominant in this tournament. This week also had a lot of special performances. So Drew, which player impressed you the most?
My most impressive player goes to Avina Westbrook. She plays for the UConn Huskies, and she was 1 rebound short of getting a triple-double. She had 9 rebounds, 10 assists, and 17 points to seal a win for her this weekend. And tonight they will play against the Baylor Bears at 7 p.m. But Madison, how about you?
My player of the week was Jaime Jaquez Jr. from UCLA. He scored 17 points in UCLA's win over Alabama in the round of 16, and of those was a 3-point shot in the last 2 minutes of the game to seal UCLA's win. With the Sweet 16 finally over, what matchup are you most excited for in the Elite Eight, Drew?
I'm definitely excited to see UCLA go against Michigan. After the upset that they pulled against number 2 Alabama, anything can happen in the tournament right now. So we'll see what the guys do when they play again tonight. What about you, Madison?
I am looking forward to the Baylor-Arkansas game. Both teams came back from a 7-point deficit in their last games played. I'm thinking that Baylor will win, but I also think that it's going to be a very close matchup, so I'm excited to see the outcome of that game. That's all the time we have today. Thank you for joining us on Campbell Now. Check us out on social media at Campbell CUTV. Be sure to leave us a like, comment, and share what you think about today's topics. We hope to see you next week, and until then, I'm Madison Thompson.
And I'm Drew Ellis. This is Campbell Now.